My dear friend and fellow pixel connoisseur, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for clicking on this video. Now it's time for me to sell it to you and reassure you that you made the right choice. So, today I want to talk about the critical node of the Shiyu defense. It's a pretty new one, we still have it for 11 more days. I've been seeing some struggling on it on the internet, some people are finding it hard, so I'm here to make it softer. It's what I do. So, first order of business, let's talk about, what is the quirk, what is the kink of the current Shiyu defense. And as always, when it comes to the Shiyus, you have to think about which characters have just recently been released, and because always the Shiyu is kind of, tied into that character. And which character do we have right now? We have Caesar. So, shielding is very, very incentivized. So, increases agent's attack by 20% and damage taken by 20%. We deal more damage, the enemies deal more damage. Now comes the important part. Obtaining a shield grants all squad members 10 energy, which is very nice. An additional 20% attack, lasting 20 seconds, and this can be triggered once every 20 seconds. So this can be, refreshed once it runs out. So, which characters in the game can apply a shield? We have Ben, which is, Ben Bigger, the big bear. We have Seth, which was released together with Jane Doe. And we now have Caesar. So we have access to 3 shielders in the game currently. And making use of these, if you're struggling, is, gonna be of some importance. And ideally, you want to split them up in, different teams. So, like, first team we have here, weak to ice and ether. So, if you have a Ellen team, go Ellen. If you have a Jujuan team, go Jujuan. Now, you will notice, like, they are not resistant to physical either. So, like, or fire, so say that you, like you're lacking Ellen, you're lacking Jujuan. We don't really have another ice carry apart from Ellen, we don't really have an ether carry apart from Jujuan. So like, if you have a built soldier, you could run soldier here. If you have a built piper, you could run piper here. And for the next one, enemy weakness, fire and physical. So like, soldier, piper, Jane will work great on this. And if you're struggling against the Bellum, I thought this was Doppelganger Jane, we'll get to her, I'll give you some tidbits. But yeah, we have access to a lot of physical carries in the game. We have Billy, we have Nakamata, we have Piper, we have Corin, we have Jane, we have Piper. I feel like I said Piper twice, but that's because she deserves it. But this one should be no problem. Let's look on number 2. Now this one is a little bit of an annoyance because it's enemy weakness electric. The only electric attacker in the game is currently Anton. And a lot of people are hesitant on building Anton. I recommend building her for like, free to play or people starting out. Simply because there is a lot of maps that will look like this. They have electric weakness. And that's kind of the only thing they do have. And this usually comes with, robots that puts on a big-ass shield unless you shock them. So here I opted in for Grace, Jane Doe, and Rena, so this ended up kind of being like an electric disorder team. Now, you could also, pull this off with just Rena as your electric, or, if your team is strong enough, you don't need to bother about this at all. You could, carry this through with Corin. But this is a way that, the team could be looking. Just one electric. Rena is one of the best supports in the game. I choose to go with Bang Volver because I'm brain dead and I forgot to change it. But yeah, any electric Bang Boo will also help you out with this. And for number 2, you have enemy weakness, fire and physical. So I chose my Soldier 11 team. Now I'm a little bit of, an obstinate child. Or obstinate man-child. When people say, oh, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this, I immediately start doing this. And there's nothing more I've seen when it comes to like Zenless and tips of what to avoid then, you know, don't build Soldier. Soldier is trash. Soldier is a trash unit. It's a trap, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, I guess we're building Soldier. So I'm trying to get as much mileage out of my Soldier as freaking possible. And I gotta say, I freaking love her. I freaking love her. So right now I'm actually using most of my energy to like farm discs for her. And I'll also probably make a series of like, you know, oh, Soldier is so trash, episode 1, 2, 3, and 250. And hopefully I'm able to convert some people's opinion on Soldier. We'll see. For number 3, we have Ice and Ether again. So like once again, Ellen or Jujuan, or you know, it's not resistant to anything, so you can get creative. And once again, we're seeing fire and physical weakness on the on the next enemy. And this is why I strongly advise anybody to build Piper. Free to play, whale, like doesn't matter, build Piper. Piper is amazing, she will carry you through this easily. And once again, I'm trying to get acquainted with Soldier, so I picked Soldier for this one. For number 4, we only have Ether weakness, so like Jujuan is gonna be your only carry. But also, once again, it's not super important. Like, if you have a goat Nekomata, she would fit right in here, and Nicole can take care of the weakness, you know, whatnot. Like, the thing you really want to avoid is, you know, bringing anything that they are actually resistant to. So, like, maybe don't bring the Ellen team into this. And for the next one, enemy weakness, Ice and Physical, I chose to go with the Jane, Seth, and Caesar team. Now, if I was struggling on this, I would, you know, split this up so that Caesar ended up in the Jujuan team. Because if you start struggling, remember that providing a shield in any way to your allies will, like, provide you with energy and a lot of extra attack. So, number 1, if you start struggling, do this. For number 6, we once again have electrical weakness and now with a lot of resistances, like fire and physical. So I picked the Jane team with Seth and Rena. Now they obviously, you know, supply the electric in the team, even if the carry per se is physical. Now this works, even though like Jane is so strong that I could just, you know, brute force through the physical resistance. Is there like, would there have been better teams to play? Undoubtedly. I could probably have slotted in, you know, Grace in Jane's place, and I have like full electric team, and gotten an alright time with it. Yeah, Jane is as cracked as she is, so she just did not care. And then for the next one, fire and physical was the weakness. So I brought Caesar, Lucy, and Piper. And once again, Piper is freaking insane. So Caesar and Lucy kind of works as the support for Piper into this, and no problem. For number 6, we once again have electric weakness. So like this is why I tell you to build Anton if you're starting out, because there will be so much electric, and chances are that you don't have Rena or Grace. So for this, I just stuck with the same team. Jane, Seth, and Rena. Once again, I bring Seth and Rena because of the electric weakness, and Jane because she's insane. And for team 2, enemy weakness, fire, and physical, I brought the absolute trash unit, Soldier 11, and, you know, cleared it slightly above a minute. So with this total, we kind of had 3 minutes left to go. And for the very last team, I've done several recordings of, like, you know, different teams. This last team that you see is kind of a meme team, where Sokaku takes the main DPS squad, and I have a series where it's kind of like Monster Sokaku, and the return of Monster Sokaku, and Monster Sokaku and the electric animated Bagaru, and etc. But I first beat this with an Ellen team. Like, Ellen is obviously gonna be very good against this, and same if you have a Jujuan, will also work fine. Now, Ice is a little bit in an like unfortunate position where the only Ice carry we have in the game currently is Ellen, and Ellen was an event banner character, so she is gone now. So Ice is struggling a little bit, but I'm trying to prove with my, you know, Monster Sokaku videos that, you know, she can fill in as a support. with the buffs that she gets in this team, she was rocking like 6,000, 5,500 attack. A lot of crit rate, a lot of crit damage. Her ultimate actually increases her crit damage by 15%, which is not bad at all. And big tip, if you're struggling on this dog here, the Notorious Armored Hattie, is like the main big enemy. The way you get rid of his armor, like, you know, his very hard, like, metal scales covering his body, is by doing defensive assists. And I think it is like 3 defensive assists, and his armor is gone. After that, he takes a lot more damage, and he's very easily stunnable. So break his armor as fast as you freaking can. Also, the first wave will be Mandrake, and then it will be a Fuzzor and Sardidus, and like they will all spawn together. The Mandrake needs to go ASAP because it's shielding all of the other things. So like, focus your damage on that one, and you know, hopefully you can get everything in a nice AoE. As for the second map, we're going up against Doppelganger Jane Doe. And now, this is a fierce opponent. She's weak to physical, so you can beat this with a Jane Doe, you can beat it with a Piper, you can beat it with a Nakamata, etc. With a Korin, with a Billy. The thing is, she does a lot of damage, but she's quite easily stunnable. So what I did is, you know, I stunned her. Now in this particular team, I don't have a stunner, but I went in with Caesar first, and Caesar does stunning amazingly. If you're running Piper and Lucy, you can bring Colida for the stun if you have Colida. You know, basically any sort of stun unit, just to, like, you know, get her to calm down, because she does do a lot of damage. And once again here, Caesar might want to be, you know, tagging along on this team, because Caesar is very good at stunning, and she'll keep your units alive. Shadow Jane does a lot of damage, so chances are that, you know, your weaker characters might just, you know, drop dead. But yeah, there you have it. Let me know in the comments if you have problems with Shiyu. I'm also thinking of like maybe doing a little video project where, you know, people that are stuck in Shiyu and, you know, they're stuck on a stage. Let me know in the comments, and like I'd happily, you know, pop into and see if I can, you know, clear it for you. Obviously making content out of it as well, and maybe teaching you a thing or two. My partner struggles quite a bit on the Shiyu defenses, and I've been doing some recordings with her where I'm, you know, kind of trying to like teach and coach her how she's supposed to think and, you know, do, and it's actually coming along quite nice. So yeah, if you need any help of any kind, let me goddamn know. All right, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Hako out.
Caesar's love for titties, hard and stacked, shaking those cheeks when she's under attack. Chain sneaky smile, the rats on the prowl, seduction's a game. She'll take you down.